A long time ago, in the old Yoruba land, there was a small village called Iluoro. People said spirits and humans used to live there together. It was a quiet place full of stories, secrets, and strong power. In this village lived a young girl called Morenike. She was kind, smart, and beautiful. But there was something strange about her. She had never spoken a single word since the day she was born. People believed the Emi Igbo, the spirit of the sacred forest, took her voice when she was a baby. Her mother, Mama Sade, was a strong woman and a herbalist. She raised Morenike alone and taught her to use her eyes and her heart to speak. But everyone still wondered what would happen if Morenike ever found her voice. The night of her 16th birthday, something strange happened. An old man with white hair and cloudy eyes came to their house. His name was Baba Ifayemi, the village priest. "It is time," he said in a deep voice, handing her a small wooden flute. "The forest is calling you." Then, without saying more, he walked into the night and disappeared. That night, Morenike had a dream. In the dream, she saw a golden bird trapped inside a cage made of smoke. The bird opened its beak and she heard her own voice singing from it. The next morning, she followed the sound of the flute into the forest of Emi, the one everyone feared. Even the brave hunters avoided it. The trees were tall and old. The wind spoke in whispers. As she walked deeper, the flute in her hand became warm. The forest grew quiet, too quiet. Then she saw something big ahead, a huge tree taller than a palace. It was a tree of voices. Small golden gourd hung from its branches, each one softly singing a different tune. Suddenly, a tall man stepped from behind the tree. His skin was dark like coal, and his eyes glowed red like fire. Feathers and beads covered his body. He was not human. "I am Oro, the spirit of lost voices," he said. "You were born without speech, but your voice lives inside you. Why are you here?" Morenike could not speak, but she raised the flute to her lips and blew one soft note. The forest stopped moving. The wind held its breath. Oro nodded slowly. "Then it is true. But to find your voice, you must pass 3 tests from the ancestors. First test, the test of memory." Oro took her under the tree of voices. There was a cave filled with glowing water. Each pool showed different memories. Some were happy, dancing, singing, her mother laughing. Some were sad, tears, loneliness, pain. One pool showed her as a baby, deep inside the forest with strange spirits standing around her. Another showed her mother crying alone under the moon. She had to choose the true memory. Morenike touched the water where her mother cried for her in the forest. The pool shimmered. A voice whispered, "Truth brings pain, but pain brings power." Suddenly, the water pulled her inside. She opened her eyes. In a strange village made of light and smoke, ghost people walked around, pounding yam, dancing, cooking. One of them turned. It was a man. He smiled kindly. "Morenike, I am your father." Tears filled her eyes. She had never met him before. "Your silence was to protect you," he said. "But now the world needs your voice." Before she could answer, the sky turned black. A monster made of smoke and fire appeared, shaking the air with a booming presence. It was Ajogun Eda, the voice stealer. The spirit village screamed in fear. Morenike stood up. Her hands were shaking, but she raised her flute. Then something happened. She opened her mouth and she sang. The sound was like thunder and rain, soft and strong. The monster screamed and disappeared. Light returned. The spirit clapped and bowed. Her father smiled. "You have passed the first test," he said, "but more is coming." She woke up under the tree of voices. The flute was gone, but now she could speak. Morenike had found her voice, but her journey was not over. She walked back to Iluoro, and the forest seemed to welcome her. Birds sang with her, leaves moved as if dancing to her steps. When she reached the village, people gasped. "She can speak!" The girl with no voice now sings like a river. It is a miracle. But Baba Ifayemi's face was serious. He stood at the shrine and said, "Her voice is not just hers. It belongs to the land, to the ancestors, and now something dark is coming to take it." That night, Morenike had another dream. The golden bird was flying free, but behind it was a black hawk with eyes of fire. A deep voice spoke in her head, "You have taken what belongs to me, child. I am coming." She woke up with her heart racing. Mama Shade was already awake, mixing herbs with shaking hands. They say, "Ajogun Eda is rising again," her mother said softly. "The spirit that steals voices is not dead. It's coming for yours." That evening, Morenike sat under the Iroko tree at the edge of the village. Suddenly, a mist rolled in. Out of the mist came a little boy, crying. His voice was soft, broken. "Help me," he said. She stood up, ready to run to him. But something felt wrong. His shadow was moving on its own. Then his eyes turned red. The boy's skin cracked, and Ajogun Eda stepped out, taller than a palm tree, with smoke for hair and fire for teeth. "Sing for me," he hissed, "or I will silence your village forever." Morenike's knees shook, her voice caught in her throat. But then she remembered the flute, the tree, her father's words. "Your voice is not just sound, it is spirit." She began to sing, not loudly, not in fear, but with courage. A slow song of the ancestors. "Ẹ̀dá mi gbọ́, ẹ̀dá mi dákẹ́, ṣùgbọ́n àwa ò ní bẹ̀rù." The earth trembled. A circle of light formed around her. The spirit growled and jumped forward, but he hit a wall of sound. Her voice. He screamed and vanished into dust. The villagers ran out of their homes. They had seen the light. They had heard the song. They lifted her onto their shoulders and danced. But Baba Ifayemi came again, looking grave. One more test remained. Final test. The test of sacrifice. The next morning, the tree of voices began to die. Its leaves turned black. The golden gods fell and broke on the ground. Oro, the spirit of lost voices, appeared once more. "Ajogun is not fully gone," he said. He left a piece of his shadow in the tree. "If the tree dies, all lost voices will be gone forever, including yours." Morenike looked around. The village was scared. Children cried, mothers prayed. "What must I do?" she asked. Oro bowed his head. "You must give up your voice once more. But this time, not in silence. You must sing your spirit into the tree to heal it. But after that, your voice may never return." She closed her eyes. Her voice had brought joy, power, truth. But she remembered the dream, the golden bird, flying free. Some things must be given for the world to breathe again. Morenike stood before the dying tree and began to sing. a song so full of love, pain, beauty, and strength that even the gods wept. The tree shook, glowed, and slowly began to bloom again. The golden gods returned. The air was full of voices. But when the song ended, she could no longer speak. She smiled, tears in her eyes. The people bowed in silence. Her voice was gone again, but this time it was everywhere. In the trees, in the wind, in every heart. Children would hear her in their dreams. Hunters would feel her when they stepped into the forest. Elders would speak her name with pride. And so Morenike became a legend, not just the girl who sang once, but the voice of the ancestors.